A lot of news to go through.
A lot. To a new twist in the mystery of how cocaine made its way into the White House.
All right, in a different place than we thought. The Secret Service is now saying the drug was found in a more secure location as the Biden administration dodges questions on the matter. More secure, really?
Griff Jenkins is live outside of the crime scene with the very latest. Griff?
Hey, good morning, Steve, Kaylee, and Brian. It's been 5 days since cocaine was found in the West Wing, and still no suspect or suspects have been identified, and we know few details, but as you mentioned, we do learn more about the actual location. Remember, first we were told it was in the library, then we were told it was in this heavily trafficked area, which led us to believe that it was the public or visitors that were on a regular tour. Now we know it is in the West Executive area, which in that area, from our folks like you, Kaylee, that have been there and spent time there, we know that it is an entrance used by staff that come from places like the DOD, DOJ, the CIA, FBI come in that entrance, very close to the Oval Office and right next to the Situation Room where this cubby area was believed to be where this was found. Now, the Secret Service tells us we may not know any details until next week as the earliest, but it has certainly led a lot of speculation as the Secret Service reviews all the cameras and access logs. Now, among those speculating, former President Donald Trump, who took to Truth Social and had this to say, quote, "Does anybody really believe that the cocaine found in the West Wing of the White House, very close to the Oval Office, is for the use of anyone other than Hunter and Joe Biden? But watch, the fake news media will soon start saying that the amount found was, quote, very small, and if it wasn't cocaine, but rather common ground-up aspirin, and the story will vanish. Meanwhile, the White House not actually knocking directly down accusations like that, saying that they essentially, this is spokesman Andrew Bates on a gaggle, so you'll hear just audio here, invoking the Hatch Act, trying to respond to these accusations. Listen.
Former President Trump has made some pretty wild posts recently on social media. One of them was that the cocaine found in the White House had belonged to either the president or his son. Are you willing to say that that's not the case, that they don't belong to them?
I don't have a response to that because we have to be careful about the Hatch Act.
Now this, as Senator Tom Cotton released that letter that we've talked about, demanding that whatever the Secret Service finds in their investigation be made public. Wants to know whether anyone's going to be held accountable and prosecuted. And also, he wants to know what new procedures or what procedures exist that were flawed in the securing of the world's most secure building on planet Earth. Guys, there is a press briefing. We hope to maybe get some more answers today, but we'll have to wait and find out. Send it back to you.
I doubt you're going to get any answers in that briefing if history is any indicator, Griff.
So, Griff, that's a place they're saying you have to be pretty much a credentialed, you have a reason to be there. There's no tourists going through that area.
Visitors.
Is that safe to say?
Yes, that's very fair to say. In fact, Kaylee can even weigh in on this. Even as the press, as a card-carrying press badge person, I don't go over there. This is the executive West Wing entrance, again, where you see the vice presidents, secretaries come and go. And when they first come in, assuming they're there for that immediate, situation room secure briefing, this is the cubbyhole they would put their devices into. So this would not be a place where, Aunt Betty from Omaha would come to see the White House for the first time.
Because we were blaming Aunt Betty for a while. Now we can't. Griff, thank you very much.
Yeah, so let me illuminate this for folks. So you walk into the West Exec entrance there, and I talked to a number of former colleagues of mine last night to just clarify the layout, get my memory up to par. There's two sets of double doors. There are cubbies that tourists would walk by. These cubbies are not utilized by White House staff. They're utilized by tourists. These are the ones when you walk inside West Exec.
If a staff member is given a tour to a friend.
Exactly. They're like little mailboxes. They're pretty ornate. They do have a lock on them. So that's the entrance of West Executive. You get to the Secret Service officer who's sitting there, and then to Griff's point, you keep going, you get to the White House mess, it's a pretty short walk, you turn, you get to the Situation Room, and that is where staff would set down their phones. You'd set it down before you go into this secure location.
Or your Coke.
There are no cameras, no cameras, I was told, in the West Wing, so they're having to rely on cameras outside of the West Wing. But interesting, one point that was emphasized to me over and over again is the Secret Service. No one is covering for the White House. So any sinister allegations out there that the Secret Service is covering for the White House, absolutely not. These are the best of the best. And just final point, Andrew Bates saying I can't answer a cocaine question because of the Hatch Act. That is ridiculous. The single worst answer I've ever heard a press secretary give. Wow. Go back to 101.
So to finish up that sentence, he said, after he said Hatch Act, he said, what I will say is that I've noticed that there does seem to be some increasing frustration coming from that corner in general, and I think it's probably rooted in the contrast between their substantive policy records. What is he trying to say? That everyone's frustrated with this storyline? Sorry if you're frustrated, but it doesn't usually happen that cocaine's found in the White House when you have a guy there, I could say, using the word probation, who has spent years on camera, in still and in video, on crack, using cocaine.
Well, here's the thing. What's very telling, and NBC has some pretty good reporting on this today. They expected the investigation. The White House officials said it's going to take a couple of weeks. They're now saying it's going to be wrapped up by Monday.
I saw that.
So you know what? They know exactly who the person is. They've got a really good idea about it. They see people come in and out with the surveillance cameras that are available. They can do the math. They've figured it out. You got to figure, though, there's a real good possibility they're not going to reveal the name. It could be a staff member. It could be a guest of a staff member. It could be a donor. It could be a constituent. It could be a supporter. It would be very embarrassing. They'll probably say, you know what, we've dealt with it. It's a Class 2 misdemeanor in Washington, D.C. No big deal.
Wouldn't that be great if someone could find illegal drugs on you and you could say, listen, I'm dealing with it internally?
Yeah.
There's no way they can go without giving the name.
You watch.
What confounds me is the story keeps changing. First it was the library and the executive mansion. Then it moves to the lobby area of the West Wing executive entrance. Then it moves to the Situation Room. All of the sources I spoke with said if it was in the entryway of West Executive, it was very likely a tourist. Only a tourist would use those cubby holes. If it's closer to the Situation Room, whoa, we got to start looking at staff.
So those people have clearances.
Yeah, the entrance is near where some vehicles like the vice president's limo or SUV park. It's one floor below the main West Wing offices and on the same floor as the Situation Room and dining area. So if it is Hunter Biden's, is that a violation of the plea deal? I imagine you can't get a plea deal and still do drugs or decide to lie on a gun form or go buy a gun if you are getting this sweetheart plea deal.
But the belief
they haven't
that
agreed to the deal yet. That's July 26th.
True. And to believe it's Hunter Biden's, though, is to believe that this evaded the sight of Secret Service for 48 hours. It was a small bag, I will say. But it's hard for me to believe that.
Well, you mean it's hard to believe it's Hunter Biden's? Why?
Because I think Secret Service would have found this. Secret Service is good. They're top notch. But it was a small bag to that point because Hunter Biden was in Camp David. So it would have had to have been left, 48 to 60 hours before it was discovered on Sunday.
Well, sports betting has figured it out. There's an item in the New York Post today where they assess the odds. Hunter Biden, 2-to-1 odds that the coke is his. 10-to-1 odds that it's a Jonas brother. 16-to-1 odds that it's Snoop Dogg. 100-to-1 that it's Jill Biden, and 150-to-1 that it is Joe Biden.
But if it is Hunter's, how do you possibly sign off on that deal?
You can't.
Well,
it'd be impossible.
What lends some credence to your point is when Andrew Bates was asked point blank, was this Hunter's? Why don't you just say no?
Yeah. Maybe he doesn't know.
Why don't you just say
which means he can't say no, right? Or he would love to have said no.
Or maybe he knows the truth.
Nancy Reagan always said, just say no. I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.